that has come to me. It is here in the Father's kingdom. It was there for me. You took me in, and you washed away my sin. You washed away. You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Oh, wait. Pardon me. Whew, boy. Lordy. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, days and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. It's your humble host, Hunter, here. Happy Sunday night to y'all. I hope you're having a good one. Hope you're safe. Hope you're well. Happy Sunday to you. Cheers. All right, so got a quick stream for y'all tonight. I will have a stream tomorrow night, probably around 8 Pacific. Keep an eye out on my socials for that, because I'm gonna watch Lanterns, the series premiere tomorrow, and I'm gonna review that as well as break down the trailers and everything, all the news from D23, because there's a ton of news out of D23 this weekend, and yeah, I kind of want to give my thoughts on that. So yeah, check out the stream tomorrow night. But as far as this stream, I know my cat Milo here is, hey buddy, yeah, good boy. He's sniffing me. So honestly, I do need to be up kind of early tomorrow. I need to be up by clocked in at 6. So probably is the one review here. I'll add the Christopher's to tomorrow's stream. Camp Rock 3. So I'm gonna be real. I had no idea. I completely forgot that there was a Camp Rock 3 happening. I'm pretty sure I've seen the first. So actually, that's a lie. I've seen the first one. I know I've seen the first one. I don't remember anything about the second one. To be real, I barely remember anything about the first one. I just know that the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato are in it, and it's basically High School Musical, but not as successful. That's what I that's why I remember. Because there's 3 High School Musicals, isn't there? I think there's 3. Let's see, High School. I feel like I should know this. I mean, because High School Musical had 3 movies, and then it had that fucking the series that was on Disney Plus when Disney Plus first launched. So yeah, High School Musical is way more successful, but I guess divorce is expensive. So Joe Jonas was like, "Hey, let's do a third Camp Rock." So Camp Rock 3, which is directed by Veronica Rodriguez, who you know from directing Betty or being a writer on Betty, Free Ridge. She directed Let's Get Married. Shout out to Doomsday Tay. Love you, boo. She's over on Twitch right now. If you're not following her at twitch.tv/Doomsday Tay, you should be. That's Doomsday and then Tayy, by the way. But much love to Doomsday Tay. But yeah, Veronica Rodriguez went ahead and directed this shit. Edie Faye is the writer of the movie of this movie. She was a writer on Fuller House, pardon me. That's her biggest claim to fame, and then this. So I mean, not a ton of proven commodities behind the camera. So the big question is, like, again, I don't remember the first fucking 2 Camp Rocks. It doesn't fucking matter, but it's like, is this movie good? In a short answer, no. It is it is garbage. It is hot garbage, as the French would say. So I was watching this today, and the one thing, okay, so I don't do this often, but I'm going to give my grade before I get into my review. So, okay, here's my grade. It's an F. It's an F. It is not a go fuck yourself. The reason it's not a go fuck yourself is because I cried, because I laughed so hard. The ending, the ending of this goddamn movie, I went,
You know what? Yes. Yes. I am so happy that you had the fucking gall to break your own logic for what you set up. Yes, good. I'm happy that you did this because it gives me more reason to hate this fucking movie. Um it's so bad. So this movie in question, Connect 3 is back. That's the name of the band that the Jonas Brothers are in this movie. I had no fucking idea that's what they were fucking called, but sure. Um, they are the Gray Brothers in this movie, which all right. Uh, Kevin Jonas, the adopted one, he plays Jason Gray. Nick Jonas plays Nate. Joe Jonas plays Shane. Um, so let me just get this out of the way. This is oh god, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. The Jonas Brothers are not good actors. I remember watching their TV show Jonas because my sisters would just thought that shit was funny. It's a really bad show, but it's like a fun bad show. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Hercules. Like yeah, like the Kevin Sorbo Hercules. It's one of those shows where you're watching, you're like, this is fucking nuts that this show fucking exists. And yet everyone behind the show kind of knows that it's insane that the show exists. So it weirdly kind of works. That's not the case here. This feels like they're playing it kind of straight, which is honestly the wrong way to play this. I wish they would have leaned into the pun intended camp a little more, but they don't really. So this also felt like the Jonas Brothers were like, okay, we're available for like 2 days. We'll show up at the camp a couple times. You can get a couple shots. We'll interact with the kids for a scene or two, and then get us the fuck out of here. Because so Camp Rock itself, like the actual place, Camp Rock, it's kind of like The Voice, where it's like, where are they on? Like season like 30 something of The Voice, like season 33, I think I read of The Voice. And if someone were to tell you The Voice has produced like successful singers, you'd probably go, well, yeah, it's been on for 33 seasons. But if you sat back and thought about it, you'd go, wait a minute, who has the Voice produced in terms of like good singers? And that's where I kind of go with Camp Rock. But who the fuck, like Connect 3, okay, but they're on a reunion tour, so clearly things aren't going great. But the movie is just like, shut up, shut up, shut up. Don't think about that. So the movie in question follows Sage, who's played by Lamani Segura. I think she's pretty new. She's okay. She was in I guess she's been in the Descendants stuff. That's another Disney property. So okay, so this is kind of her first big starring vehicle, which I'll say I don't know. That's the thing about this movie too. That's kind of, I don't even want to say difficult, but the kids just aren't that good. Like I'm just like I'm not trying to be a dick, but they're not. The kids are just, there's really no one watching this. I'm going, okay, you could be like, you remember like as bad as oh god, what was that show? You okay? So I remember watching again Big Brother, but I remember watching something like Victorious, right, with Victoria Justice, and I still remember hearing Ariana Grande sing on there for the first time and going, "Uh oh, like oh she's way better than Victoria." Like that's like, ooh, that's not good for you, Victoria. And that kind of being a thing and being like, oh wow, Ariana Grande is really talented. As I'm watching this movie, there's no one that's even close to there's no one even remotely close in that stratosphere in terms of what they're clearly going for here. These kids are just, they're all just archetypes, really. You have the classically trained girl who wants to learn how to rock. You have the girl in Sage who is, quote, destined for greatness. You have the black girl who's Callie, who's played by Brooklyn Pitts. I mean, like everyone feels like they are a type and really not a character. Again, these kids are young. Like I always go back to this example, but you look at something like the first Harry Potter, like they obviously grew into the roles. Like I'm sure these kids will be fine, or at least some of them will be. But in terms of this movie, watching it, I was just like, oh god, like just stop. The villains in this movie, Madison, and I can't remember her goons, but Madison's the main one, who's played by Ava Jean. I think that was the thing that tripped me out the most. So Madison and her two henchmen, they're trying to go ahead and sabotage Sage and the rest of the campers. They actively fail at multiple points at trying to go ahead and sabotage the campers, but they're still allowed in the camp. Like they're not thrown out, they're not disciplined, they're not, told like, hey, stay in this fucking cabin while they're doing performances. No, they're just kind of allowed to keep wandering. And I just, there's so many moments as I'm watching the movie, I'm going, you're not making sense for your own universe, let alone me putting any actual fucking criticism to the shit. There's a thing called the Camp Rock Stomp, which I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I hated it. I I saw it and I was just like, oh god, like, that's really bad. The within the first 90 seconds, the minute and 8-second mark to be exact, someone, I think it's Sage, says Camp Rock is basically a historical landmark, which, come on, y'all, a historical landmark, like, give me a fucking break. Like that was the thing about this movie, or one of the things about this movie that just had me, oh my god, that's like almost choke here. Oh my god. Mm. That I was just kind of floored by. That was the other thing too. I'm assuming the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato were like, I know they went to the camp, maybe they became counselors. Again, don't remember the first two, don't really fucking care. But there's at least 50 kids at this camp, right? They have one person who's in charge of the camp, and that's it. Like there's no one else. Like they don't have they don't have camp counselors. I'm watching this going, wait a minute, like there needs to be someone else here. And the movie's like, fuck you, another no, there doesn't. It's so okay. So Connect 3, the Jonas Brothers, they're going ahead and they're reforming to go ahead and go back on a new world tour, and their opener goes ahead and drops out, right? So the whole premise of this movie is that Camp Rock 3 is being used to find the new opener for Connect 3, right? One artist. They say multiple times, we're gonna pick one of you to go through this, like, to go through this marathon, to go through Camp Rock, and we will pick one of you to be our new opening act. So as I'm watching this, there is a point where I went, there's no way they're gonna pick one kid. It has to be more than one. And so I thought, okay, maybe two kids. Where this movie ends up is like, I won't spoil it officially, but it's one of those things that as I was watching it, I went, oh my god, you're really gonna pull this shit. You have so little shame. You're going to pull this quote. I wouldn't even call it a twist. It it's so ridiculous. I was so angry watching this shit. One other one other thing, a couple other things. Sage, so she has this one dance number where she's talking about how it's her one shot, it's basically 8 Mile, but she it's just as good. But she has this moment where she's talking about, it's my one shot, I'm gonna give it my all, da da da. and she bumps into the bad boy of the camp, the one that, of course, she's destined to fall in love with. And the way she bumps into him, I don't know how many takes they did of the bump, but it's like they did 2 takes and they went, "Fuck it, moving on," because the fucking bump that Sage takes is maybe the worst bump I've seen in any film ever. I was actually amazed at how bad the editing was on the bump and the actual bump itself. Like it's a masterclass in how to do something incorrectly. Like I was I was truly amazed. Also, there is a moment between the bad boy that I just mentioned, Fletch, who's played by Malachi Barton. Fletch Robinson, not a bad boy name, but sure, let's roll with it. There is a point involving a cell phone, right? And something that happens with Fletch. And one of the things that Camp Rock always says is like there's no exception, no exceptions, no cell phones allowed because we don't want, the band practices to leak or anything like that. So Fletch has something that happened to him that's actually pretty traumatic and pretty dark. And so in my head, I'm going, okay, he should be allowed to have a cell phone. But they only introduced this thing in order for there to be conflict about said phone. And the way that Sage brings this shit up, it is such a what the fuck, bitch, how dare like the way she dimes him out. I can't tell anyone to watch this, but that scene in particular, the look he gives her, like, what are you doing? I was amazed. I was laughing so goddamn hard. I was like, all right, you know what? This to the point that I was crying. I genuinely was crying. I was laughing so hard. But um the whole final rock shit at the end where everyone's like brings their A game. Um that whole sequence, one of the problems with this movie is that everything feels recorded. Like none of the performances feel like they should feel. You know what I mean? Like you should feel like you're performing in front of your peers, and it never feels like that. It all feels like very manufactured stuff done in a studio. So it really does actually take you out of the like emotion of it. There is also there's this point with Fletch and Sage where they have this activity where it's like, all right, turn around and ask questions to a camper you don't know, like really ask these specific questions, like really dig in there. And the way that Fletch asks these questions about Sage and what he's able to discern from the conversation they have and the way he spins it into a love song, all within the span of about 4 minutes, I was truly, I was flabbergasted. My flabber was gasted. I could not I could not stop laughing at just how absurd the way they pulled this out of their ass was. So it's like 90 minutes. It's like 93 minutes, but it's one of those movies that I'm just like, y'all, like, whoo, like this is rough. Like this is really rough that you went ahead. That you went ahead and did this. Yeah, it's an F. I already mentioned it's an F, so whatever. But it's such shit. It's so bad. But yeah, so there it's an F for for Camp Rock 3. Don't make any more of these. Just let the shit die. All right, y'all. Fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this last review. Got a review for the Christophers, the latest offering from Neon Films. Of course, I fucking love Neon. It's directed by Steven Soderbergh, who of course you know from Sex Lies and Videotape, Traffic, Aaron Brockovich. One of my favorite films last year in a Black Bag, and it's directed by Ed Solomon, who wrote Now You See Me Too, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Levity, as well as the first Men in Black and the first Charlie's Angels. So yeah, some good stuff. I won't mention that he did Imagine That, which is absolutely terrible, but but that's a lot of hits though. So um the film in question stars Sir Ian McKellen and Michaela Coel, who of course you know from several things, including Mother Mary recently, and Sir Ian McKellen, of course you know from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the X-Men films, Vicious. Yeah, Ian McKellen, kind of a big deal. So Ian McKellen plays Julian Sklar, who is this renowned artist, renowned painter who hasn't painted in years, and he had gone ahead and started um, this new series of painting called the Christophers, and through some events, through some events, Julian has gone ahead and stopped painting. His kids, who are played by James Corden, bastard, and, and Jessica Jessica Gunning. Jessica Gunning, you of course uh, know from White Heat, and most recently, of course, Baby Reindeer. She's amazing. I'm a huge fucking fan of hers. Um, they go ahead and they're basically like, we really want you to finish these paintings so we can have some money because you know we're fucking assholes. So they go ahead and they hire Michaela Cole's Lori to go ahead and basically finish these paintings in the style of Julian so that they can go ahead and sell them off. So it's a very interesting like concept in terms of what they're going for here. What I really love about this movie, and I mean love about this movie, is the chemistry between Michaela Cole and Ian McKellen. It is electric whenever they are on screen together. And I while I think this is a very well directed film, because I mean, let's call it what it is. Steven Soderbergh doesn't direct bad films. It really is the script that is the star of this movie. Um, every piece of dialogue between Cole and McKellen just jumps off the page in a way that I went, "Oh yeah, they're fucking running with this." They are so good about being able to bounce off each other in the way that there is a significant sass and snarkiness to what they're saying, but there's also a lot of emotion behind it. Julian, as a artist, really feels like he's gotten screwed through circumstances not of his, you know, not of his, like he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, well, never mind. I say he didn't do anything wrong. That's a lie, but I don't want to spoil too much. I What I'll say about this movie, because I think some of the fun of this movie is discovering things for yourself as you're watching it. It feels very base level when it starts. It feels like it's going to just kind of be about one thing. But then as the layers are pulled back in terms of what's really going on, you realize that this is actually more of a dire situation in terms of why the kids need these paintings done and like their motivation behind it. And also Julian's motivation in terms of what he wants his legacy to be as an artist is really quite fascinating. Um, I really like Laurie's relationship with James Corden's Barnaby. Again, fuck James Corden, and and Sally, Jessica Gunning's character. They are great at playing these two entitled little shits that even Ian McKellen, just he has no time for them. Julian hates his kids. Like he's such a like he despises them in a way that is actually inspired the way he does not like his kids. I was laughing so hard at multiple points when he's talking to Lori about his kids and how he just doesn't give a fuck. From jump when he meets Lori, Julian is already just on his shit. Um I love how when Lori shows up, she just, you know, being trying to be nice, of course, working for him, asks, like, what would you like anything? Tea, coffee, water? Oh no, he asked her, pardon me, when she shows up for her first day, like tea, coffee, water. And she goes, water would be lovely. And he goes, perfect, grab me one as well. I was like, God damn, dude. Like, she hasn't been in your house 5 minutes and you're already just like busting her chops. One thing about this movie too that I think is very interesting as the film goes on is the parallels between Julian and Lori. There's a point where Julian discovers that Lori's true intentions and why she's there. And that conversation is some of my favorite dialogue all year. It is intense, it is uncomfortable. The way that they're really kind of probing each other and kind of seeing what makes the other one tick. It's a really fun chess match that they have going back and forth that I really enjoyed. I really also enjoy the bitterness that Julian has in this movie. He is bitter in a way about his art that is very believable. Um, it actually weirdly made me think of Leonard Nimoy with how much he just hated Spock and how that's what he was known as to so many people, and how he rejected it for years, and then finally came around to realizing the gift that could potentially be. I found that really interesting. By the way, if you haven't seen For the Love of Spock, that's a great documentary. Please check that out if you haven't. I've reviewed it here on the channel as well. But uh I really like the conversation they have about art and about how much of the art is yours, and like how that opens yourself up to criticism by putting your art out there, and selling out versus making what you feel like your audience wants and being true to yourself. And there's so many conversations about the actual concept and the notion of art that this movie has, that as I was watching it more and more and getting more into it, I found myself just truly being enamored and being so excited about what the film was saying, and some of the places that the film was willing to go. um I adored this. I had so much fun with this movie. Um, Not obviously to give too much away, but there is a comment that Julian makes about Harvey Weinstein, and it's one of those lines that I actually had to pause the movie because I went, "Wow!" I went, "Wow!" You said that to someone. It's it's one of those things where I went, "God damn, I love that!" Like, I love that you had like, whoo, like, it. There's several lines of dialogue. I keep coming back to the script, but I really did find myself at points throwing my hands back in the like, just like in celebration in terms of how fun the script was, um and how I was uncomfortable at points, but I was dying. I was having so much fun being in this world and being in this house and being around these artists and being around these people who are protective and honestly pretentious about their art. So I was really excited. I was really excited to check this out, and I'm right now it would be in my top 10. Like, I enjoyed the hell out of this. Soderbergh again, man, he really doesn't miss. But I a tip of the cap to Ed Solomon and Michaela Coel and Sir Ian McKellen, that their performances, their chemistry carries this movie, or it'd be enough to carry it if everything else wasn't good, which it is. So this is a solid A for me. I adore this movie, and it's something that I actually look forward to revisiting by the end of the year, because my grade on it might actually go up from an A. That's how much I enjoyed this film. Yeah, the script was great. The direction was great. Love the score. Love where the film ends up. That was something I'm very curious, like how they're gonna stick the landing, and they did. So yeah, yeah, dug the hell out of this. A solid A for the Christophers from yours truly. But yeah, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here. I'm gonna go have some dinner because dinner sounds good. But I will be on tomorrow night around 8 o'clock Pacific. Keep an eye out on socials for when I'll be on officially. But want to go ahead and want to go and talk about D23 in the latest Avengers Doomsday trailer and the first trailer for Vision Quest and all the announcements from D23. So I will be back on tomorrow to talk about that. But yeah, y'all go ahead and follow the show pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, Tune Up, and Samsung Podcasts, to name a few. You can follow the show on YouTube at youtube.com/realpineapple. Follow yours truly on Blue Sky at realpineapple.bsky.social. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at jhunterreelpineapple. That's jhunter and then REEL and then pineapple. Follow me on Letterboxd at Black Shazam. And you can follow the show on Twitch at twitch.tv/therealpineapple. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Like I said, I'll have the stream tomorrow. I will stream on Wednesday. We'll be watching AEW Dynamite. We'll do a watch along for that. And then I think Collision is back on Saturday as well. So should have a stream as well on Saturday for Collision. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe. Take care of each other. Give someone a hug. Give someone a compliment. We can always do more positivity. And never forget, as always, to keep it real. Thank you so much, y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow night. Have a great night. Cheers.